The man who never has money enough to pay his debts has too much of something else. Debt is the worst poverty. The only man who sticks closer to you in adversity than a friend is a creditor. He who loses wealth loses much. He who loses a friend loses more. But he who loses his courage loses all. Debt is the slavery of the free. A man in debt is so far a slave. Rather go to bed supperless than rise in debt. It is the debtor that is ruined by hard times. Debt is the fatal disease of republics, the first thing and the mightiest to undermine governments and corrupt the people. Debt is the secret foe of thrift, as vice and idleness are its open foes. Interest on debts grows without rain. Speak not of my debts unless you mean to pay them. A small debt produces a debtor, a large one an enemy. Home life ceases to be free and beautiful as soon as it is founded on borrowing and debt. A national debt, if it is not excessive, will be to us a national blessing. Always live within your income, even if you have to borrow money to do so. Credit buying is much like being a drunk. The buzz happens immediately and gives you a lift. The hangover comes the day after. The best way to get out of debt is to act as if you never had any credit. Running into debt isn't so bad. It's running into creditors that hurts. When you are in debt, then you are a slave. The second vice is lying. The first is running in debt. The surest way to ruin a man who doesn't know how to handle money is to give him some. Worrying is like paying on a debt that may never come due. A debt is still a debt, even when the debtor is dead. A promise made is a debt unpaid. Debt is one person's liability, but another person's asset. The debt we owe to the play of imagination is incalculable. To contract new debts is not the way to pay old ones. We can pay our debts to the past by putting the future in debt to ourselves. The most important loan to pay off is your credit card debt, the debt immense of endless gratitude. Credit is a system whereby a person who can't pay gets another person who can't pay to guarantee that he can pay. Debt is the mother of folly and of crime, though not always of sin. One of the greatest disservices you can do a man is to lend him money that he can't pay back. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. When you're in debt, every dollar you get is like a drop of water in the desert. You can't pay off a debt with more debt. The habit of saving is itself an education. It fosters every virtue, teaches self-denial, cultivates the sense of order, trains to forethought, and so broadens the mind. When a man is in love or in debt, someone else has the advantage. Debt is a trap which men set and themselves catch. When you get in debt, you become a slave. Do not accustom yourself to consider debt only as an inconvenience. You will find it a calamity. Think what you do when you run into debt. You give to another power over your liberty. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Good debt is a powerful tool, but bad debt can kill you. The first step in getting out of debt is stop borrowing money. Debt is a step into the future with a promise to pay it back. Clear your debts to clear your mind. Managing debt is about understanding the balance between risk and responsibility. Debt is a temporary solution, not a permanent crutch. Small debts are like small wounds. Left untreated, they can grow into something serious. Financial freedom begins with controlling your debt. The first step to financial peace is paying off your debt. Debt is a great source of stress, Eliminate it to reclaim your peace. The path to wealth is often found in prudent debt management. Your financial health reflects how well you manage your debt. Debt can be a useful tool if wielded wisely. The real cost of debt is not just the interest, but the freedom it takes away. Debt repayment is the fastest way to build wealth. Living debt-free is the new luxury. Debt is like quicksand. The more you struggle without a plan, the deeper you sink. Each dollar paid towards debt is a step towards financial independence. Avoiding debt is the first step to financial stability. Debt relief starts with honest assessment and a solid plan. The longer you ignore debt, the larger it grows. Freedom from debt allows you to dream bigger. Reducing debt should be a top priority for a healthy financial future. Debt can be a useful tool or a devastating burden. It depends on how you use it. To be debt-free is to own your future. Good financial habits start with managing and paying off debt. Debt can be a silent killer of dreams and aspirations. The journey to financial freedom starts with eliminating debt. Debt management is about discipline, not deprivation. Paying off debt is a gift you give to your future self. Debt is a reminder that nothing in life is free. Clear debts to clear your path to success. Debt repayment should be as regular as your income. Free yourself from the chains of debt to live a more fulfilling life. Every debt paid is a step towards financial liberty. Debt can be a tool for growth if managed wisely. Living within your means is the best way to avoid debt. Debt is like a shadow. The longer it follows you, the harder it is to escape. The best way to deal with debt is to face it head-on. Debt may give you temporary comfort, but long-term stress. Conquering debt is a major milestone in the journey to financial freedom. Debt should be a temporary situation, not a permanent lifestyle. Smart debt management is key to financial success. Debt freedom allows you to invest in your future without constraints. Control your debt, or it will control you. Debt is a burden that weighs down your financial goals. The best investment you can make is paying off your debt. The less you owe, the more you grow. Debt-free living is the ultimate financial goal. Avoiding debt is as important as earning money. Debt repayment is a journey, not a destination. The best way to improve your financial situation is to eliminate debt.